Okay.
Okay.
So how do we start? You guys want to ask questions?
Yep.
Yeah,
What's the subject then? You want to
Yeah.
talk about?
We're live. We're live right now, and I just want to say thanks for everybody coming on. And I have this new YouTube channel called Raise Reports, and I just want to talk about all the crazy stuff that's about to happen and that's happening now. And we got people
right.
from Brazil, we got people in New York, and we got people in LA on the call, San Diego, and I think that's all the location shout outs.
Yep.
But what's going on? What's going on in the world today?
It's a broad one. I guess, Felipe, maybe to refine it a little bit, since I've been with you guys a few times now, discovering sort of what's going on down in Brazil, and also that's gonna affect the global population. I guess maybe just start for a general audience, like an opening discussion about. I guess we can start with the frequency that's arriving to the planet that we should know about. Anything you want to tell us about that?
Okay. Did you talk about Dakila or any
A few people
or
here.
research here?
Okay, so I'll just introduce you. Felipe is a researcher from Dakila Research, which is located in the Brazilian highlands. I've been there twice now, and I'm doing my own research with them. And so, some of the people here, most of them, I think my brother, I told him a little bit about it, but I think everybody else is up to speed on what we've been doing. And after the talks we've been giving here in New York, so most people are caught up. So yeah, we know about it. Yeah.
And you talked about Bilu and stuff?
Yes.
The guys and the gang? No, just so I know. All right.
Yeah. Baloo, our friend, yes.
Well, give us a quick intro. Give us a quick intro to Baloo for the people listening that never heard of him.
Okay. Let me give you a quick intro about Dakila as well. Well,
Yeah.
we are a research association. We've been doing research and training for the past 21 years. I was involved since day one. I started off in Rio, and then in 1996, late 96, then I moved to Campo Grande here in the highlands of Brazil, where we have a farm like 50 miles away from here, where we have our headquarters. We've been training there with these 49 ET races in order to have physical, face-to-face, verbal contact with them. And Bilu is one of these guys. And it's a long story, but I can, let's make it short. They've been training this group of people for the past 22 years because they say that the planet's going to start suffering changes and nobody knows about. That's I'm going to use some bold words here, but I got to lay it down, guys, because we don't have much time.
Yeah.
Things are beginning to happen, and they instructed us to really, spill the beans, talk openly about it, and whatever, Who understands, but who doesn't understand or doesn't believe, it's okay, because they're going to witness all this. So they wanted to train a group of people, to have face-to-face verbal contacts with them, because they say that telepathy and all these other sorts of forms of communication, like channeling and stuff like that, has a lot of interference from the person who's doing it, okay? And it can be manipulated or it can be misunderstood, the information. So they had to train a group of people in order to have this physical, face-to-face, verbal conversations with them. As Dan, he spoke already with Bilu face-to-face, almost face-to-face, but
Yeah.
verbally, he talked to him. All right.
It really was I don't even know if milestone is a word for it. It definitely, something changed in me when I felt the vibration of this being's voice communicate with me and explain to me what I was doing here and what I'm supposed to be doing to sort of help this big crisis that's happening around us. So yeah, that's verification enough, and I think that everybody needs to sort of like get to this themselves. But this was in a group of 200 plus people. Everybody heard the same thing. He talked to the whole audience, and this has been happening for the last, like Felipe said, 21 years. So I'm verifying that.
Well, the verbal conversations, the face-to-face verbal conversations, have been taking place for the past 10 years.
Okay, 10 years.
The first 11 we're training. Okay, the group was training, because a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to go there, I'm going to talk to Bilu. You know, Dan was an exception. It's not really the norm, you know. But because the group is closed, there's no more time to train people, because you need training in order to have this verbal conversation with these 49 races. And they are focusing now on the information, because they say that there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen. There's a lot of stuff already happening. Governments are lying. Governments know. You know, whatever you call, you know, the Illuminatis, you know, I don't know. I have to understand the terminology that you understand, that you can. Do you guys understand when I say Illuminati? You know, the elite group that controls everything, that pulls the strings from behind the scenes. Do you understand that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
This fine. Okay, this exists. It's a group. These guys are dangerous. You know, they don't give a damn about the population. The intention is to depopulation. They want to reduce the population quickly, because we're going to start entering a phase, a very dangerous phase of earth changes. Everything that you heard about that it was supposed to happen in 2012, you know, like the end of the world of the Mayans and stuff like that, it's all wrong. It's 2018. It's now, and it's going to start on August. And it's not the end of the world. It's earth changes, you know, we have, but serious earth changes. And to aggravate the situation, you know, the governments are going to start doing stuff to kill and reduce the population. So we have to really disseminate the information so that people know what's going on, and they have tools to, you know, counter this offensive, you know. So basically it's that they needed to train a group. We have around 700 to 800 persons from all over the world. We have people from France, from Spain, from Portugal, from Paraguay, Uruguay, Bolivia, from the US, from Japan, from all over, from England. These people, they've been training with the guys, with the 49 races. We are finishing a phase where we're going to be able to establish conversations anywhere in the world. We don't have to do this here in the farm. That's why we're planning a trip to the States later on this year, in order to, you know, do what we do here in the US, but not to make people have conversations with ETs. You know, it's not that the purpose. The purpose is the information, because it's vital to know what's going on. So basically, we are entering a phase which we call the neutral, the zero time phase. You see, we have a terminology that we sort of figure out. You know, we created sort of a terminology to describe situations that they are unknown here on Earth. For instance, the modulating waves. Dan, did you talk about this stuff with the people, or
I think that maybe Dina, Ray, Aeneas, there's at least half of us here, Alan, that we know about the waves.
You guys understand? So modulating waves, and we're about to enter a phase. You know, it's the Earth trajectory. Okay, now we have to. Let me get my mind straight. It's a lot of stuff. So to kind of summarize, let me see how I'm going to put this. Okay. You guys know that the Earth is not round, right? You guys got to this conclusion already, or not?
We're waiting for the documentary.
Excuse me.
So, well, the documentary is out. We made the documentary.
I have a question for that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I knew about that. I knew about the documentary.
Okay. All right. We made a documentary.
I would like to.
Go ahead.
I would like. I'm still very skeptical about the flat Earth thing, you guys.
Yes.
And I know Bilu is quite a trickster, so
yes.
I can't help by wondering if he's tricking us with this and testing us out. So
yes.
we have to kind of be cautious about this and not just kind of fly with just get a little deeper into things. I'm sure you're very deep people here already, and I appreciate your sentiments. I very much resonate with it, and it just validates even further what I've been thinking in my mind, which I thought were crazy for the longest time. But you guys making it real, so I appreciate it, and I love you all. So the other thing I have with Bilou and the flat Earth theory is that I know
Not flat, not flat. It's very
the
different.
convex Earth.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so there is some flatness. Obviously, the documentary I watched, and it's undeniably flat. It's at least at those points. You know what the
Yeah.
chances are. So there is some flatness there. Although there is a lot of people in there's a lot of whistleblowers and a lot of different areas that I follow. People that have been in the moon bases, been into the 20 and back program, that say that the Earth is not convex or flat or any of that. And these are really reliable. I mean, I don't know what's reliable anymore, but
Do we know? Do we really know?
Do you trust whistleblowers? Do you think that their agenda is to speak the truth, to tell the truth?
There is some reservation to that. I don't know if they're speaking the whole truth. They're definitely speaking some of the truth. But I just wanted to ask this question: do you think Bilou is testing us? And why do we even need this information right now? What does it concern us? Even if it was flat, shouldn't we just spending our energy figuring out all these things that we're talking about now instead of, just wasting time, checking out the window of the plane for 2 hours and if you know what I mean?
Thank you for the question. It's a great question, I think, and it helps me to explain the purpose of the 49 races here. First of all, what I'm going to say is the information I got not only from Bilou. We have contacts with many guys. Okay, I had at least 15 different ET races talking to me, and when I mean talking, I have recordings, I have footage. I sat beside them. I looked face to face. Not only me, it's a very big group, okay, of guys that they have the training to have this level of contact. Okay, first, Bilou is not, he's a trickster, yes. He's a trickster, but in the sense that, especially for Brazilians, okay, here, this is mainly for Brazilians are very, they like to joke around, they are very informal and stuff like that. So if you have a serious approach, you don't really captivate the attention of Brazilians. It might sound very crazy, but that's the way it is. And also, he wants to. Yes, also he wants to, because you see, in the beginning, we had a lot of problems in the training because everybody was scared to death, to go and stay for, the training that we do is in the outback, in the forest, sort of,
Forest, yeah.
in the forest. So we have to stay in these vortexes. There are specific points in the farm where they train us, they bathe us with this light, and they talk to us, and they do the ships, they fly around, they flash different lights on us. This is
I
their
have no doubt
technology.
about that. I just wanted to know if the Earth is flat or not, because it's killing me.
Oh,
And
it's killing you. Okay, let me tell you.
I also really deep inside me, I resonate with this idea because it does make complete sense that the Earth should be like this. Okay, I've really looked deep into this, and I go with my senses and my innate feelings. So I really was captivated by this. It really took a hold on me. So I want to believe it, but I also
we don't want believe. Believe it's not a word we use. Okay, no believe.
I also have spoken to my contact, which is an ET contactee, and has been on board of a ship and has seen the Earth from space and has seen the Earth round. So I have very reliable sources here, and it's not just whistleblowers. So that's why I'm raising these questions. What would be this threshold that is keeping people separate in this topic?
Okay.
Because I think
let
if
me
I don't
explain.
get this out of my head, then I cannot continue to, you know, there's going to be this bug in my system that I can't remove.
Well, it's okay. Now, we were instructed to make the documentary. Okay, I've been having contacts with Bilu for the past 11 years and other ETs. Okay, they never spoke about the shape of the Earth, the real shape of the Earth. They never talked about it. Okay, they instructed a group of persons to start a documentary, making experiments and stuff like that for the past 7 years. Okay, in 2011, Bilu made a video where he said, listen, the Earth is not round, it's like this, like that. You guys go and do experiments to prove it. And he gave us the experiments. I did not participate in the experiments because we have different functions there, okay? Mine is different. I did not participate in the experiments, but I follow the conversations, and the research in general, but I did not do the experiments. What I can say is this: without knowing the real shape of the Earth and the dynamics, okay, involved, how it really operates, we will not be able to understand what's going to happen in the next 10 years, from now until 2028. There's no way they're going to understand. For instance, last week I had a conversation with a Paraguayan climatologist. He's the UN representative for South America, one of the members of a panel of climatologists that work for the UN, and they are very powerful here. These people, in this segment of science, which is climatology. He talked to me, of course, because we have persons in Paraguay of Dakila that talked to him and gave him information about the climate changes and the trends that were going to happen and how the Earth really operates and how the Earth really is. And he came back to us asking more questions, but saying, please do not quote my name, do not mention me. The climate change, it's happening. It's not global warming. This is a lie. UN is lying. They're deceiving people. We don't know what's going on. The weather's going totally crazy all over the world. The media is not talking about it, and we do not know what's going on. We cannot predict anything anymore. Okay, so he came to us asking because he's seen our information here. He's seen our documentary. He's heard. He had conversation with Dakila members that had more information about our research, and they were allowed to give him this information, okay? Because we cannot speak openly yet about everything. So the purpose of the documentary, the purpose of showing how the Earth, the real shape of the Earth is a way to explain what's going to happen, because otherwise people are not going to understand what's going to happen. That's why they instructed us and they told us, listen, we don't care if people believe, okay? It's not a question of believing. It's proof. The experiments are there. There is no curvature. If you cannot prove the curvature, the Earth is not round, okay? And we had about 20 experiments. We showed only 7 because there is a purpose in that. Was what? It was to wake up certain segments of scientists. And we have achieved that. We have climatologists asking us things. We have Russian scientists talking to us right now. We have mainstream Russian scientists. They know the situation in Russia. They told us that they've been doing research to establish the real shape of the Earth for the past 10 years. They have done research in the Baikal Lake and other lakes in Russia, doing the same sort of researches that we did same sort of experiments that we did. But yet they have certain questions to ask because they can understand up to a certain level, all right? And what we're doing is we're providing information behind the scenes to these people because our partners do not want us yet to be mainstream, let's say. Let's put it this way. They want us to work behind the scenes right now. It's not time yet, okay? That's why they instructed us to make the documentary so that people start to think. We do not operate with belief. It's not a matter of a belief system. We operate with facts, okay? When you sit down, okay, a group of 11, 15 persons, when you sit down with a guy, that when you look at him, the sort of technology, his gadgets that he has, in his hands, the sort of stuff he talks about, we are recording. We are having many witnesses. It's not only me. We have a lot of witnesses. We are recording. We are filming. And so, we have undisputed confidence in what we're doing, what we're saying. As crazy as it might sound, because they've told us unfortunately, the information around is 99% wrong. 99% wrong. Okay, I don't want to say 100%. They told us 100, but I don't like 100. I'm conservative, so I like to use 99%. They told us everything you guys learn is wrong. Your science is wrong. Your history is wrong. Your religions are completely wrong. All knowledge is wrong. It's manipulated. They will never give you the correct information because you would empower the population. They do not want to empower the population. They want to manipulate the population. And that's what we've been seeing for the past thousands and thousands of years. We do not see, empowerment in the population. We do not see a place where everything works perfectly fine as they were supposed to work. Because even that we do not know. We do not know how stuff should really work. For instance, just to give you a plain idea, one, death, it's not we're not supposed to die. A group of ETs manipulated our DNA 150,000 years ago. Okay, we're not supposed to die. We're not supposed to age. Age is a disease. Okay, it's not normal. This is not our purpose. Is not to, as the Eastern religions talk about. We're not supposed to be born. Learn stuff. Achieve nirvana or whatever, and we'll not reincarnate anymore after we die. That's not evolution. That's not how evolution is. We're supposed to do something called transmutation. We're supposed to accelerate the protons and electrons of our cells, and move, to other dimensions. That's the real evolution, not dying. Dying is not evolution.
Felipe,
so
Can I follow up real quick on that?
Can I just clarify?
I just want to do a follow up comment, and then you guys can go ahead. Okay. I just feel a lot better now. Thank you so much, Felipe. You expressed my sentiments about this, and I'm just glad it makes me hopeful. There's people out there like you just to validate the crazy thoughts that I have in my head constantly. So, and I totally believe that we have to be fed spoonfuls before we get a 3-course meal on this stuff, because then we would not know what to do with it. So thank you for that explanation. It was really inspiring, and can't wait to see you in person. It's really cool. Thank you.
Thanks, Daniel.
Thank you.
Dina?
Yeah, no, my comment was about what Felipe was just talking about, the reincarnation side. And I think for me, that was a big kind of aha moment to understand that the difference between dimensionality versus the 3D plane, and that even some of the terminology that we use in spirituality, such as ascended masters, that they're not necessarily what we think they are. So perhaps you can talk a little more about what it means to be a dimensional versus, what it means to be still part of reincarnational cycle.
Okay. All right. Now, we spoke with a different being, not Bilu, about the ascended masters. They talked to us about it. They haven't explained fully exactly who they are and what they are and what it means. They just, I think there's
Yeah, anyone
listening
join,
a lot
please
of
mute
noise.
yourself.
Can everyone check their volume and just make sure the noise is gone? Louis, is that you? Turn that down. Hang on. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
That was
It's really loud here.
That was your brother, Danny. I put him on mute.
Okay, cool. That's all good.
Now, okay. They just said this. Listen, guys, the ascended masters are not who you think they are. We will explain who they are and what it is to you, but they haven't explained yet. Now, let me now describe the difference between 3D beings and dimensionals. Dimensionals are beings that live in the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, in other dimensions, okay? These guys are from the 49 races. These 49 races, they are dimensional beings. That means that they are more subtle than ours. Physical, but in a different density. Their bodies have a different density. That is why we had to train for so long, in order to have a verbal face-to-face conversation with them, because their energy is a lot more powerful than ours. And in order to withstand the verbal conversation with these guys, you need training. You need to prepare your physical body. You need to accelerate your brain waves. It's extremely important. That's why they sort of prohibit us to meditate, because they say meditation lowers your brain waves and it makes it impossible for us to talk to us. Okay, we had many experiences of persons who were involved in meditation. They were quite advanced in meditation. Okay, and they had, especially like in the beginning of our conversations, which was about 10 years ago, these people wouldn't understand the guys. They would understand like, they would not understand them.
Exactly what they sound
Clearly,
like.
They could not make the words, understand. It's incredible. And they used to tell us, this is because they do not have an accelerated brainwave. Their brains are not active, You need to be 16, 18, 19, 20 hertz and up, Those that meditate a lot, they're usually around 12, 14 hertz, 10 hertz, not while they are meditating, In a normal state, they already have their brain waves low, and this is very bad. This is terrible, They weaponize the technique, They weaponize the technique in order to make people subject to brain, how do you say, I think I forgot the word, programming, when you do a lot of meditation and stuff like that, you lower your brain waves in a way that you are prone to programming. They weaponize the knowledge. All knowledge were weaponized. Spiritual knowledge, esoteric knowledge. This was all weaponized. Okay, like the Hindus, the Vedas, and they are most of them are vegetarians. You need to eat red meat in order to have an extra acceleration of your brain waves. There are chemical components in the red meat essential for this acceleration. It might sound crazy, but that's how it is. This ethical stuff. Oh, I'm not going to eat a cow, or I'm not going to eat an animal. This doesn't exist. They say it doesn't make any sense. They say this: you guys are in the third dimension. You have to eat everything there is to eat. So it doesn't make much sense for them. This, that's what they tell us. Okay, so they say this: there are only 49 races which are dimensional. Okay, which inhabit this parallel dimensions, and the 3D, the physical, third dimensional, let's say, reality, it's everywhere. Planet Earth is not the only planet which has a physical, third dimensional human being. They say there are billions and billions and billions of other worlds, they are inhabited by third dimensional beings. But only here on Earth, the third dimensional beings, they age, they get sick, It's the only planet because we were manipulated. Okay, our genes were manipulated around 150,000 years ago by an ET race, which is this group is known as the Anunnakis. These guys are involved in this manipulation of our DNA. There's a long story also, prior to that, because these guys, they were the ones that fabricated the humans here. Okay, the humans, the third dimensional humans on the Earth, they were fabricated. Many people think, there were a simian race here before, and these guys came down here, manipulated their genes, and then the humans, came about. No, this is not true. According to the 49 races, according to the information we have, they came down here and fabricated from scratch around 450,000 years ago. Okay, and they made this race. There are 5 races here, and they are all ET origins. On Earth, there was nothing before. Everything alive here came from other planets. Human beings, animals, plants, they all came. They all brought here. Okay, so there are plenty of third dimensional 3D, as we say, human beings. But dimensional extraterrestrials or dimensional ultra terrestrials, that doesn't make any difference for us. There are only 49 races. That's why when I hear a lot of people talking, about the reptilians, they come from a more subtle reality. It's not true. According to them, they said that it doesn't exist this. Only these 49 races are dimensional. They are all humans. There is one of these races, they are reptilians, but they are not ugly. They are human-like. They are different. They are not very ugly. They are a reptilian race, but they are not ugly and they are not bad. Let me put this in a simple way. So the information is very, very different, from what we used to read around, in what we hear from whistleblowers and stuff like that, because many talk about reptilians and reptilians being the Anunnakis. The Anunnakis are not reptilians. No, they are humans, ugly humans, but they are humans. They're very tall, very powerful, very strong, but they are not reptilians, So it's a long, long story. Do you have any more questions? Because
So my question to just
I think
follow up
about
on
so many things, so I have to kind of focus my.
No, we appreciate it, Felipe. That's all good information. Thank you.
Felipe, so just to follow up on that, so if they're all humanoid, so is it possible that below and other beings that are interacting with us are our future selves?
That's a very good question. They are not our future selves, but we have spoke already. My father has spoken to his future self. His future self, when it comes to you, it's you. Okay? It's just like you. It's you that came from the future and talked to you physically, verbally. He was this guy. I think I told Dan about it. Yeah. He was kind of arguing with him. He appeared in his room, 3 o'clock in the morning. And my mother woke up you know, the room was dark, and my father was arguing with this guy that he was in his bathroom. The guy was in the bathroom. My father was sitting. My father is 83 years old. My father was sitting on this bed arguing with this guy. And this guy, this other guy that my mother was thought in the beginning, you know, she thought he was a thief. I don't know. She woke up startled, you know. She was like, "What the hell is going on? Who is he fighting with?" You know, and she understood by the content of the conversation. She was like, "Oh my God, it's his future self." And then she went back to bed and she said, "No, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear." And like, she was kind of, you know, I don't want to pry in this private conversation. So, and there are other persons there in Dakila that they have spoken to their future self. This is something we have been training to do, because they say this: now we are living in a very important moment. It's a turning point for us, okay? And we cannot make mistakes. There is nobody in this world that can give you good advice as yourself from the future. So we have been training. Do you understand?
Yes.
We have been training. Do you follow the train of thought? You know, we've been training also to have conversations with our future self. I think around 20 persons there in Dakila already spoke with their future self, and they recorded. And one of them, I know he filmed, but he's not yet allowed to release. But he will have permission to release. Same thing as me. I have many recordings of Bilu, of other beings talking to me, many. But we have not yet the authorization to disclose this openly, this footage.
But
They
there
don't
is
want
some footage
that yet.
already. Isn't there some
Oh,
footage
yes.
already?
Plenty. There are plenty of footage. Yes, but not of our conversations, you know, because they said this. We are not 100.
From Bilu, Bilu from
Yes,
Dakila
there is.
Research.
I have here. If you guys, I can share with you if you want. There's
No, I know, but the point, because
dematerialization.
you just said they're not authorized. So there is
No.
people that have video on YouTube already about Bilu, and
Yeah.
and they're very realistic. So there,
No,
I
no.
guess there are videos.
But
Yes, let me explain
explain
myself. Wait, let me explain myself. What I mean is this: we have literally thousands and thousands of videos of our group, because we have a large group, okay, of around 1,500 persons, but we are divided in work groups, okay, in small work groups. These work groups have conversations, have talks, you know, have classes from different ET beings, not only Bilu. And we film it, okay? Also during the day, we film it, we record it. We are not allowed to show this footage yet. They will authorize us. Those that you guys have seen around the internet, they are authorized. For instance, the dematerialization footage of Bilu was done by a Brazilian TV crew that came to the farm in order to debunk, you know, our conversations. They didn't debunk anything, you know. They were scared to death there. They were desperate, you know, and they caught Bilu dematerializing, you know, while talking. But, you know, the powers that be do not want this, you know, yet to be confirmed and corroborated by the official, you know, media, governments, and stuff like that. So it's sort of informal, let's say. It's an informal disclosure already. That's what I mean.
Okay.
I mean that I have footage of Bilu. I have a footage of myself sitting down on the ground talking to Bilu. He's sitting beside me. We're talking like this, you know, like 10 inches away from each other, you know. And there's a friend of mine filming it. I cannot disclose that. I would love to, but I can't. Not yet. We will have authorization to do that very soon, because they want to finish our training. When we finish our training, I don't talk much about it, but I will do now, because we don't have much time. August is there, stuff is going to happen. I don't give a damn, you know. Well, I have to talk. I have to people have to know. They will show themselves to the world. They will present themselves to the world. Everybody's going to know about them. And everybody's are going to know that there is a group that were trained by these guys, okay, and that have face-to-face verbal conversation with these guys, that are receiving information, and above all, that they are receiving technology, because they are giving us technology, very advanced technology that we're supposed to introduce to humanity. I don't like this word, but that's how they talk to us, because they say we have to change the lives of the people on this planet. It's not only information, talk about ETs, this is all nice, but what matters is that people do not get sick anymore, that people live a lot longer. We can, in a short while, we can increase the lifespan of the people. We will be able to do that with that technology. Even for ourselves, we've been trained to be examples, So we haven't finished this training. So now it's all words so far, but we have been trained to be examples, to introduce these technologies to humanity. We need to better, the state of affairs of this planet. This thing, we all love each other, let's hug, great. This serves nothing. We need concrete information. We need to change reality. We need to stop the manipulation. We need to stop the lies, the deceit. That's what we need. We need to give people access to technology. This group, they have contacted persons in the past and tried to inspire them to make a vital advancement in technology that would change completely the face of the planet. And these people were silenced, they were killed. To think that Nikola Tesla 100 years ago had the technology of free energy, wireless transmission of electricity and stuff like that, and a lot more, because people don't know, because the governments, they suppressed this information, they hid this information, they discredited him afterwards, that's what happens. These single guys or girls, they were suppressed, they were killed, they were hidden. Their information, their knowledge, the technology they were able to offer humanity were gone. And that's why they chose to train a large group of persons. That's why we're more than 1,000 being trained from all over the world. They changed strategy because they said one guy only is dangerous. They can do the same thing as they've done in the past, to suppress this knowledge, this information, and above all, the technologies, because the technologies are important. Can you guys fathom, if we had free electricity, the difference already that will make in the world with poverty, with stuff like that, only with free energy. Can you guys envision, very simple technologies that would, increase your lifespan? You would live 400, 500, 1,000 years without getting sick immediately, in a very short while, because the technology is very, very, very easy. It's incredible. We have been brainwashed, by Hollywood, by the media, by science fiction films, to understand high tech as crazy computers and artificial intelligence and all this intelligence. This is BS, This is BS. The clay that some of you guys know, this clay that we're dealing now, it's a technology. It's a very powerful technology, an incredible technology. That's what high tech is. We have small devices, gadgets, that when you look at it, you give nothing for it. This is a piece of rock. It looks like a piece of rock, but it's a device that can do lots of things. This is high tech. High tech is extremely simple. Extremely simple. How the universe works is extremely simple. Everything's very, very simple. Men have created, have devised this, have built this matrix, this fake matrix, complex matrix, you know, with these astrophysicists trying to explain black holes and all these situations through equations, you know, and equations and equations and complex physics. These are all BS. Do you believe that? This is crazy. Our guys say, this is all BS. This doesn't exist, you know. These have absolutely nothing to do with reality. The fact that you balance equations, that don't explain anything. That don't explain reality. You know, it's a completely different thing. It's incredible. They are duping you. They are deceiving you. That's the way it is, you know. It's crazy, crazy, but you know, that's the way it is. And we're going to live through incredible changes. Incredible changes. They are cyclic. The 5,125 years of the Mayan calendar, you know, I forgot the name, but I know the Mayans, they have a 1,125 year, right? Periods of time. It's accurate. It's accurate. That's how it works. What it describes Earth trajectory in space, you know, because we are told that Earth, okay, moves around the sun. Okay, it doesn't exist. This we're making a second documentary where we're going to show the sun, the moon, and the stars, what they are really, where they are really, you know. And now that's why people have to understand what's going on. The Earth moves. It doesn't move as if it's an anchor boat in a sea, okay? Because the Earth is static. It doesn't move. Well, actually, it moves slightly like this, you know. It wobbles a little bit. That's why the receding of the seas that we've witnessed last year here in South America, in parts of South America, you know, the sea receded crazy. Why? Because it moved. It wobbled a little bit, you know, it kind of bent a little bit, 0.25 degrees only. And it made a crazy recede. I have pictures if you want, I can show you guys. You know, it's crazy. It receded here and it advanced in parts of Southeast Asia. Incredible. And the media doesn't talk about it. Here in Brazil, it was ridiculous because they were talking about the receding of the oceans as saying, no, it was the wind that pushed back, you know, the sea. Guys, it pushed back 500 meters, 800 meters. Crazy stuff. Never seen before. This is because the Earth is not round. If it would be round, it wouldn't happen this. You know, it's because it's like this. It's convex, you know, and flat. The flatness it's on the oceans, you know. So you must understand this. And the Earth is like, can you guys see it, as if it's a boat, anchor boat, because it doesn't move. The movement is kind of like this. But there's something called modulating waves. Okay, the modulating waves. So the Earth, they go like this. It kind of it rocks to these waves gently. Every 5,125 years, it goes up the wave. We call it positive modulating wave. And then when it reaches the top, the crest of the wave, I'm making it grossly so that you guys understand. It's not like this, you know. It's very, very slight, you know, a slight movement. So when it reaches the crest, it's the neutral modulating wave. We're going to enter this phase now in August for 9 months and 12 days at least. It could be a little bit more. What's going to happen? Yes.
Just to interject on that, is this in line with some scientist that has that says that the Earth has gotten smaller? It was smaller, then got larger. It's basically kind of blew up like a balloon.
No.
Is that kind of? So that's the one guy says that. So is that basically the orb idea, or like the waves, the modulating? Is it kind of, where can we get a better picture about that?
You can't, because the guys told us that this information, nobody knows about it. Only the Illuminati, let's put it this way. Only the elites, the top of the top of the top. These guys, they know what's going on. They know what's going to happen. They cannot benefit from it because they are not dimensional beings. Because to complete Dina's question, they are incarnated dimensional beings here on Earth. They are. Okay, we are these guys, you know. Otherwise, we would not be able to withstand the training, okay, and we will not be able to talk to them. How do I know that? I know because in the beginning of our training, there were persons that were not dimensional beings incarnated here on Earth that participated in our training, and they used to faint during the training, the interaction with the ships, you know, and they used to faint. And used to go, my God, can you believe like 6, 7, 8, 10 people? What's going on? And Nuranji used to tell them, these guys are not dimensional. They cannot withstand the modulation of energy from the ships, you know. They can't. So they faint, they go to sleep. And they will not come back because there's no empathy. It does not resonate with them, the sort of stuff we do there. And so they go away. It's crazy. This I witnessed that. Nobody told me. It's incredible. So these guys, this elite that controls, that pulls the strings, you know, of everything on Earth right now, these guys, their bosses are the Anunnakis and 3 other races of extra-dimensional. They are not dimensional. So they cannot benefit from a lot of stuff that's going to happen with these modulating waves, the change of these modulating waves. All they have to do is protect themselves. That's why they have built the underground bases. We have underground bases all over the world for these elites, because they cannot benefit from it. They just have to protect themselves in order to die. They know where to go, what to do, you know, because they know what's going on, and they want to depopulate the planet. They want to diminish, kill, you know. They want to kill the population as many as they can, in a kind of hidden way. Of course, it's not an over-up, you know. It's kind of you know, it's a hidden operation. You know? That's why they're using chemtrails. That's why they're using all this crazy stuff that we find in food today, you know. So it's making people sick. That's why you're seeing cancers and stuff like that. Now with the 5G that's coming about, you know, this is crazy technology, crazy, insane technology. They can fry a whole city, you know, like just like that. They can manipulate the brain waves, you know. They can do that now with HARP, with 4G networks. They can do that as well. But, oh my God, I lost myself. What was
No, Felipe, you're doing well, man. We're all following along here, and thank you for all the information. I'm gonna hit the 5-minute mark on this call, just because I think a few people have to have a few things to get to in the next little while. But let's Felipe, do you want to close with something? Anything that's that we need to know at this moment, you know, for this general audience, and we're all.
Okay.
You know,
How can we prepare? How can we prepare, Felipe, for August?
That's what I want to talk about.
What do we do with my life? What do we do with our lives, pretty much? Can you tell us, please?
You're going to say what you're going to do. But I just like
cannot
to
meditate anymore. I have to eat meat and all these things. Like you
well, you don't have to. You don't have to if you don't feel like. Nobody, you know, have to do anything. Also because one thing is what we are doing, okay? What we are doing. We are training, we are preparing, you know, in order to have these conversations. We already have them, but now we are finishing our training so that we can do this anywhere in the world. We do not need to be in a specific vortex, you know, that would jumpstart our physical vibrational frequency in order to have these physical conversations. We'll be able to be independent, to talk to them anywhere in the world, to do works anywhere in the world. That's why we need to finish our training. But what I want to say here is this moment, the modulating wave, positive. We're almost there in the neutral modulating wave. And then we're going to start coming down on the negative modulating wave after 9 months, 12 days. What we can do is this. It's very simple, but very important. We must eat, you guys already do that, I'm sure. Eat organic, as you know, natural as possible. Avoid junk food, avoid all this sort of industrialized, processed foods. I'm sure you guys already do that. Exercise, I'm sure you guys all do that. Because exercise, what it does, which is important to us, it increases our brain waves and increases the electrical charge of our cells. This is extremely important. Why? Because the modulating waves, they already started. There's little waves, the ripple of the neutral modulating wave, it's already here. We photographed the consequence of this first ripple that entered the planet on June the 4th, and they told us, listen, the neutral wave is coming. This is the first small ripple that is preceding the big one. Okay.
On May 4th, right?
On May 4th. Maybe did you guys see the photo?
Yeah, I saw it.
You saw it. Okay.
I'll send
it looks like a chemtrail.
Yes. Yeah,
it looks like a chemtrail.
Yeah.
It looks like a chemtrail. But when you photograph during the day, it's kind of twisted.
It's like a spiral.
The modular wave. It's like this.
Like a DNA.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because of the resonance to the modular waves, the modulating waves. The modulating waves, they are like this, like the DNA. So what happened is this. If you are working out, if you have low toxins in your body, high electrical charge in your cells, good eating, what do? These modulating waves, they are modulating frequencies. Below called these frequencies the genius frequency. What is it? It's let's say it's an energy that we can absorb. And what does it do? It helps our understanding. It helps to boost our understanding, our ability to understand, our ability to perceive things. It will increase our perception and understanding of this any situation. It will improve in your work, improve in your life in general, and it will also make your brain wave activity stronger in order to withstand the situation we're going to live during the neutral modulating wave, which is this. We're going to be very confused. People are going to be very confused. Not us, because we're being prepared. But people in general are going to be very confused. They're going to have difficulty in focusing. They're going to feel like, oh my God, what's going on? Difficulty in concentrating. This is going to be very, very strong. We had a demonstration. Bilu made a demonstration for us. Through technology, he opened a bubble of, inside this bubble, there was like 200 persons inside this bubble. Okay, you cannot see the bubble, but the colors changed. It was fascinating. The colors changed. It's incredible. You see what's going on. It was during the night. We had a full moon, very bright, the clear sky, 100% clear sky, but as if someone dimmed the light of the moon. It was incredible. It became darker. And then we were asking, Bilu, what's going on? And then he said, I'm going to show you what's going to happen to those that do not prepare during the neutral modulating wave. One of the things, how it's going to affect our brain activity. And then he shifted the MDPL, which is the magnetism, pressure, density, and the light. This is what gravity is. Gravity does not exist. Gravity is magnetism, pressure, density, and light. So he manipulated it and created a bubble where we will be experiencing the effects of a neutral wave. And then he started to ask simple questions to some of us, especially to Larissa, to one of the persons there, a girl. And he started, Larissa, 2 + 2, Larissa, 10 plus 10, simple question. She was like, wait, I don't know what's going on. She was confused. We were confused. We were like, my God, we can't think straight. What's going on? And then Bilou said, do you guys realize why you need to prepare? This was more than a year ago that he did that to us. He did that to scare us off, because Brazilians, they don't have a lot of discipline, So many of us, still eating junk food and not preparing correctly. So he gave us a scare. He gave us a practical example. And we were like, my God, what's going on? He said, you see, this is going to happen. You need to prepare. The fatter you are, the more intoxicated with crappy junk food, processed foods you are, the less active physically you are, the more you will suffer, the more negative effects you will have. You will be very confused. And it's going to be a very important moment for the governments, because the governments, they're going to go crazy on people because they know about it. They know what's going to happen. And they're going to be instructed, to do crazy stuff, crazy stuff in order to reduce the population even further. Because of this situation, people are going to be confused all over the world. So this is how it is, among other things, but this is the most important thing. But everything has a positive side. If you are preparing yourself, if you're being active, if you're eating well, if you're doing this stuff, what's going to happen? You're going to absorb this genius frequency that Bilou, he invents words in order to illustrate the situation in a way that we can understand. So that's how he explains. He uses a lot of figures of speech and stuff like that. And he said, this genius frequency, if you're okay, if you train, if you're eating well and stuff like that, you'll be able to absorb this energy and improve your reasoning. It's like an antidote to what's going to happen during the neutral wave. You see what I mean? Because they say everything has, a positive and a negative side. That's why the information is important. We have to talk openly about it. We cannot hold back anymore.
Yeah, exactly, man. Let's go. It's go time.
I'm ready.
How do we prepare our families? Do we start talking to them a little bit, or do we?
We have to give them soft openings, and we have to just, like I invited my brother on this call. He's off now, but I think that he was able to absorb a little bit of it. Just little by little, start talking to them about it, getting them accustomed to the information, and.
Well, first of all, you don't need to talk about the ETs. You don't need to say that they are information from ETs. Actually, they instruct us to do that. Don't talk about it. But these are common sense things, to eat well, stuff like that. There's a crazy cancer, epidemic all over the world. Why? Because of this crap people eat and not exercise and sugar. And these are common things, that you can advise people, you should do that, do this. It's easy to instruct, because depending on the way you lay the information out to people, they might get scared. What's going to happen? Even though we're going to see some crazy shit going on. You're seeing the volcanoes now in Hawaii, a couple in Indonesia. I have a cousin, she lives in Jakarta, and she was telling me there are 2 volcanoes erupting there. In Mexico, shit's gonna hit the fan, man. That's gonna happen. Unfortunately, that's what's gonna happen.
Well, we're getting ready. We all have to stick together and just keep spreading this information. So, Ray, do you wanna wrap things up for the Ray's report?
I just
ask another question, or do you wanna?
Just thanks everybody for coming. Thanks, Felipe, for your information. That was fun, and we should do this more often.
Yeah,
sure, anytime.
We want to try to do Ray's reports maybe once a week, guys. So you guys are, more than welcome to just hit me up. I'll send you links, and maybe we can just grow this audience into a more generalized form. And then, Felipe, we have our other plans to do the base here and everything in the next few months. So we'll be talking about that also, and just moving forward, man.
No problem.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming on, and we'll see you next time.
Let me just listen. Can I ask you one thing only?
Of course. Of course.
I would like to show you guys so that you understand what I'm saying. Just one of our training utilizing their technology. Would you guys like to see? It's a video of mine. I can show that.
Yeah.
You guys
yeah.
like to see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let me put it here. Let me put it here.
Is this going to be published on YouTube or something, or
No, it
just
can.
on?
It can be. It doesn't matter. It's okay. This is old stuff.
Okay.
It's fine. Let me find here. It's here. This is a plasma activation that they do to us, to some of us. They did in groups, but I did mine alone. Okay. So let me put it here. Wait a minute. Okay, let me. Okay, wait a minute. Bear with me, guys.
Yeah, no problem. Take your time.
Okay, here. Let me. Okay. Can you guys see?
Yeah,
I'm
see,
gonna.
We can see.
Can you see it? Okay, now I'm gonna turn on.
Okay.
Wait. Check it out.
there you go. Whoa.
What was that?
That's
Whoa.
you, Felipe? Wow.
This is me.
What?
You guys see?
Well,
Did you see?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Let me put it again.
What happened?
okay,
What's happening there?
everybody,
I'll tell you.
everybody be quiet.
Okay, now what I'm doing is this. I'm laying down with my arms crossed. I'm holding in each hand a branch of a tree. Okay, and there's this huge ball that is coming behind me, and I can hear the hissing sound, like shh, very, very strong. And then it enters my foot. Okay, I think my left foot. I don't remember now. my left or my right foot, and it goes up, and it enters my column, my spine, and it goes all the way up, and it explodes a little bit before my neck. This is for the Kundalini energy also. This is a technology that they utilize. This plasma ball activation is a technology they employ in order to synchronize my cells so that I can increase the speed and the charge of the electric charge of my cells. It's like the bus of a motherboard. They kind of improve my meridians so that I can accelerate even higher, and it makes also easier for my brainwave activity to increase, to jump to very high levels, so that, because I was being trained there, this was like 15 years ago, I was being trained to initiate conversation with these guys. They were like 6 meters tall, and I needed a preparation in order to withstand, this conversation. So this is one of the activations that we received. I'm gonna show you now my sisters. So you see my sisters. This is my sisters. Look, you guys see?
Whoa.
You guys have to be quiet because we need to see it on the screen. Can you show it one more time?
I'm gonna show you one more time. You see?
That's crazy.
It burns you, when it enters your body. My God, man, as if you're burning inside. It's crazy. It's
Oh my
crazy.
God, man.
Now I'm gonna show my father. I don't know why, but they made my father do it inside a car. There is a purpose for that, but they did not talk about it. Okay, we still don't know why he was there. Look, he's sitting inside the car. Can you see the light? Look at it.
Whoa.
You guys see?
Yeah. Wow.
They told us. You see, this is my. You want to see again?
Yeah. One more time.
If I talk, there's a problem with the image.
Keep talking because it goes away. Yeah. That's crazy.
That's my dad coming out.
Wow.
And now, like a group of, I think we're 40 or 50 persons, we had them individually. The rest, they had in groups. Now this is a group activation. So guys, you see the difference. Did you guys see?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
This is a group. Now this is another one. This was filmed in VHS, guys. So
Whoa.
you see, guys, this is just so that you understand. We had a lot of training, okay? Also, we were subject to their interference. They utilized technologies in order to improve our bodies, in order to improve our brain activity so that we could speak to them. That's why they told us, don't talk about us much outside because people might have the idea that this is Disneyland here. This is E.T. Disneyland. They can come down here, see Bilou, see this, talk to them. No, it doesn't work like this. The group closed. Those that trained. Those that are going to come later on, they will be able to talk to them in groups. Yes, they will be able to talk, but not as we talk, because we're trained for it. Why? Not because we have an agreement with them to pass all the technology they're going to give us. Okay, so we need to have this face-to-face verbal conversation so that we also it's also a safe procedure, because if I would have telepathy or if I would be channeling, I could tell you guys anything. But if I have the recording, if 200 persons are listening to the same thing, it's different. If you have this sort of evidence, as I just showed you, this is nothing, because the stuff we have now, we have filmed in HD. That was filmed in VHS, low res. Now we have stuff filmed in high resolution, so it's totally different. But the idea is this. The group was trained. The important thing, they want us to concentrate in the information. They want us to pass on the information, to tell people what's going on. It's terrible to say this, but I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to sound arrogant or anything like that. But, as I said, not because this is not my idea. I was instructed by them. Tell them that 99% of the information they're receiving is BS. In all aspects of life, everything is wrong. Even important stuff. For instance, a couple of months ago, they were instructing us, beginning to instruct us in what death really is. Death is absolutely nothing. Death of the third dimensional body. Death is absolutely nothing we believe it is. And there are techniques, they are simple techniques that we will be able to teach everybody, that will allow them to talk to the persons that their loved ones that they're gone. This is crazy, And I asked them, are you crazy? What the hell is this? And they told me, Felipe, you're asking this because you guys don't know what death is. Death is something completely different than what you were taught. Religions utilize this to manipulate you, because everybody's scared of death, so they will obey, they will do anything, you know. So this is a very powerful card to play in order to manipulate and to keep down the population. And we will help you guys to free the population of this enslavement. Also, because there's one thing, when we start talking about the truth about religions and spiritual knowledge, let's put it this way, people are going to be very angry. People are going to be very mad, you know, especially, you know, those crazy guys, you know, from the Bible Belt and stuff like that, you know, those Muslims who are, oh, you know, fanatics and stuff. They will be very angry. So the first technique that we will teach you is to explain them what death really is, and we will explain them how they can talk to their the loved ones that have gone. When I mean talk, it's not telepathy. It's physical, just like we talk to Bilou and the other guys. People will be able to talk to their loved ones physically, verbally, face to face. They will be able to touch them and everything, because they say that the curtain, you know, the curtain between this dimension, this physical dimension where we are, and this dimension where these people that die physical death go to, is very thin. It's very thin. It's very easy to do this, to open, talk to them, interact with them in a physical way, close it, and okay. It's very, very easy. This, we have to do that because this technique will protect you guys, because people are going to feel so thankful, so grateful, that they're going to be freed from they're going to be freed from being afraid of death, and they're going to be able to talk, you know, to interact with their loved ones. They're going to be so grateful that they will protect our group. This is a strategy. Can you guys envision something like that? This is crazy. Even me, I live this on a daily basis. When I talk about it, I was like, my God, this is crazy. It is crazy. Life is completely different, guys. Death is also completely different. It's nothing as we believe, you know, it is, you know, absolutely nothing. We're being lied by everybody. This is crazy, you know. And I'm going to advance here, guys. We're on. No, I cannot. When we're off, I tell you what happened to me concerning this. But, you know, this is crazy, you know. So that's why they wanted to train a group to make real, concrete changes, not to talk about, you know, I'm sorry, I don't want to sound, you know, don't get me wrong, but, you know, talk about bases on the moon and bases on Mars and Mars jump room and reptilians, I don't know where. This is BS, total BS. The extraterrestrials from third dimension, they do not have that. I asked this because we have been to a teleportation device in Bolivia utilized by the Anunnakis. And there we had contacts with these humans. They're beautiful humans. And they told us they can teleport stuff, things, not living things. They do not have technology to teleport living things, breathing things. You guys think they have a technology which is very advanced, like Star Trek, you know, beam me up, Scotty. You cannot do that with their technology. These Anunnakis, they do not have this technology. The third dimensional ETs do not have these technologies. Only the dimensional guys they have. Because Bilou does it all the time. And other ETs as well. When they interact with, they appear here, then they appear here, then they teleport all the time. Dan, did you get to see Bilou teleporting in several places at the same time?
Yeah, when I was there.
It's not this is not the teleportation, the moon, the stargates or whatever, all this stuff. It's not human. There is cosmic federations out there. There's all kinds of ET activity going on there.
Yes, there
Obviously,
is.
this is secret, but you know, it's not like there is a lot of people saying the truth out there, so it's not. It just there is voices of truth out there, because I have already.
No, I'm sure they are, but
because I've already measured and compared to some things that you said. So I have paralleled what you're saying with these other groups. I am like a garbage can of information over here. That's what I do. So and then I just sort out like the homeless people that go in the garbage can and be like, oh, there's a recycle, and it's like, yeah. So there is, I know there is pieces of the truth now that is very. The puzzle is 5 million pieces, and we have like 100 pieces of the puzzle, so we cannot even see anything. But there is a lot of truth out there. But anyway, I really appreciate your enthusiasm. I really loved what you said. We have to party. We have to celebrate now. We're gonna go with me and Daniel are gonna go dance. Anybody wants to join?
I'm gonna be late, man. I gotta go to dinner first, but I'll see you guys there after, or I'll see you back at your place.
Have an acai. Have an acai.
Acai.
We don't have that here, man. Come on, Felipe.
Have an
You don't
acai.
have
Come on, man.
No drinks on the dance floor.
Have a chimarrão there then.
Felipe, thank you so much, man, for all your time and good
you,
information,
Felipe.
man.
Yeah,
Thank
let's continue this
It's a
conversation. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we'll keep it going again
Sure.
soon.
Yeah, thanks, Felipe.
Anytime.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Ray.
Anytime.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Ray.
So much.
Bye.
Awesome.
Thanks.